When I came to Kentucky from Florida Bible College with my minister husband, we moved to Lawrenceburg in order to be with Brent's grandparents. Unfortunately, when you get married at, 18 years old, it's not at all unusual for you to find that your lives just separate as you grow up. Brent ended up going back to school to become a petroleum geologist. It's kind of the dark side of geology. And I really didn't know what to do because all of my training was how to be a good minister's wife. Come on, it's not that funny. So I got involved in temporary office work. You know, you go this place and work for a week, and you go this place and work for a day and whatever. And in the meantime of all of this, Brent and I ended up getting divorced, and also I went to work at a law office downtown and met Frank. Well, I met Frank, and it was like, wow. He taught me amazing things, like he took me to the first bar I'd ever been in my life. He taught me that cursing was just words that society put meaning on, so you may as well say whatever you want. He taught me how to curse. But he also showed me a love like nothing I'd ever seen. So I did, Frank and I got married, and I would do lawyer stuff with him, be the lawyer's wife at parties and stuff like that, because, you know, it's the only thing I'm trained for. And at one of the parties, we met somebody who mentioned that they were about to take their RV down to San Antonio, and boldly I said, "Oh, can I hitch a ride? My mother's in San Antonio. I can go there." Okay, let's shorten this story. What I learned on that trip after taking what was back then expressed as a better way to function in business kind of class. And what it taught was a kind of meditation, visualization. So I got back home and I'm teaching it to Frank, and we're sitting on our living room floor, and I'm doing the, countdown from 10 to 1 and relax, and then we just, what are you getting? Well, it just feels like I'm floating in space. And we did that for actually quite some time. And one of the days that we did that, I was saying just that, "Ooh, I feel like I'm floating in space." I'm sorry, what was I saying? Because I just lost my train of thought. Frank had tears in his eyes, and he said, "You're never going to believe this." Because Samuel had introduced himself. I called Gwen, who I had met also at that party, and knew that she was kind of airy-fairy-ish, and it would be okay to let her know what was going on. And she was the one who said, "This is called channeling. It's not possession. It's okay. Can I come over and see if you can do it again?" And I just did the same thing. For years, I did that same thing. some of you were here early enough to watch me sit and slowly, slowly, slowly relax my body until I woke up. Now it goes a whole lot faster. It was amazing to me. It took many months before I could accept that I don't really understand what's happening, but it's having a profound effect on the people who are there. When Samuel first came through, you couldn't touch him. And if he reached out and touched you, it would be like an electrical shock. I would channel sitting in the car so I wouldn't get car sick. I did so many really stupid things. He was very patient. He would give stuff away. I quit wearing jewelry and only wore socks that he wouldn't give away because he would give away whatever I had on. Yeah, took my shoulder pads out because he didn't like them, tossed them in the audience. When I heard about that, I knew everyone thought that they were part of my bra. I was so horrified. He would invite people to stay at the house because, they needed to be able to get healthier. Yeah. Our Labrador Retriever, Aggie, he called Jack, and he would pound on her so hard that, I would never do that. He'd just smack at her, and she'd just, oh, I'm so glad. Well, yeah. For those of you who have heard those really early recordings, you can just barely understand him. His brogue was so strong that there'd be just sections that people couldn't understand, and he was always using words no one understood. One time at our house, because we were not the house we're in now, when I started channeling, because there were so many people coming in to see if it happened again, Gwen brought somebody she'd met who was a Gaelic scholar from Scotland, maybe. And afterwards, he said to me, that is a really ancient dialect from this little tiny island off the coast of Scotland called Erin. And it was like, holy moly, because that's exactly what Samuel said. He was using a personality from the island of Erin in Scotland. So, yeah, it's been wild. He's fallen out of, he let me fall out of chairs. He's gotten up and walked across rooms, and
the first trip, the first Hawaii trip, he was doing that. He was showing something on a table. He got up and stood and he said, "Don't tell Form, don't tell her."
and I'm
Walking around.
pretty convinced that he says, "Don't tell the form," which is what he calls me. Thank you so much. Because he knows everybody will. Because whenever he says that, there's always 2 or 3 people who say, "Samuel said not to tell you this, but you need to know." Okay. No secrets here at Phoenix.
You learned how to drink water?
Yeah, Pittsburgh taught him how to drink out of a bottle. And with glasses, it took him a while to figure out where my mouth was, and he would dump it down the front of me, trying to get to the water, you know. I was, yeah, fun times.
Thank you for going over that again. That's, so special to hear all that again.
Oh, I'm glad, thanks,
And you weren't doing
thanks.
all of that, you know. We
Oh,
were being shown to
thanks.
people
Oh, God.
who had done
Yeah.
Much
You did
later.
this at the retreat. I've never heard this.
You did that. You
before.
told the story at the retreat a couple years ago.
Maybe, yeah.
This is not that
It's
very
a very different version.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little more of the weird early days, yeah.
That's true.
And I usually don't mention that I got married at 18 and divorced at however old I was, and then married Frank. And I didn't even get into the part where, and then one night there's a knock on our door, and we go to the door, and Stuart's there, and he hasn't left since. But, yeah, okay, so all of that happened to a woman named Lee Schultz, and that would be me, and here I am, and thank you for being so patient.